Hey everybody, what's up? It's Matt again. I'm sitting on my swing and I thought I should do another wrestling review video for you guys. Instead of doing a just a plain wrestling match, I want to talk about a pay-per-view. Back in WCW 1998, Halloween Havoc. That pay-per-view is famous for three reasons. I'll tell you one. Number one, the bad match between Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. Two legends fighting in a rematch from WrestleMania 6 back in WWF. But now we're in WCW at Halloween Havoc. The reason this match kind of happened was because Hogan wanted Warrior to come back because he wanted to beat him. Because at WrestleMania 6 in Toronto, Ultimate Warrior beat Hulk Hogan, became WWF champion, and the torch was passed along, but it didn't really work that well. Things fell through with Warrior, and Hogan became champion later on in that year. But anyways, Hogan did not think that Warrior was very good. He didn't think that he was the best man at the time to be champion and to be the new star. Hogan still thought he had lots of star power left in him, and he didn't really want to pass that torch, which he was supposed to have done. So he wanted Warrior to come back to WCW, have a match, and beat him, and then just get his win back and finally feel good about himself, I guess. But the match was not very good itself. It was a really bad match. If you go onto YouTube, you can still see Warrior and Hogan fighting at Halloween Havoc, and Hogan kind of screwed the match up. I think what he was trying to do, he's in the corner. He takes up this match and he starts his fire, and he wanted to throw it in Warrior's face, but he ended up throwing it like it backfired and got Hogan in the face by mistake. So that was kind of a botch in the match, and it just kind of added to the bad match that it already was. So that was number one for that pay-per-view being so famous. Number two, the main event was cut off because after 3 hours it was over. WCW thought, oh, I'm WCW, I can do anything I want, we can go all night if I want to because I'm WCW. But no, 11 o'clock came and it got cut off. And just before the main event started between Goldberg and DDP, the match was cut off and nobody saw it. And yeah, and I can't remember if they lost. I'm not sure if they lost a lot of money doing that, but instead of paying everybody back, they played the main event the following night on Nitro, and that's how I saw it because I was 9 years old at the time and I really wanted to see that match, but it's on pay-per-view. But I'm like, oh, we're gonna miss that great match. But next night on Nitro, I got to see it for free because WCW screwed up. And that was the final time Nitro beat Raw in the ratings. Was the night after Halloween Havoc, and they showed the main event between Goldberg and DDP for free because they screwed up. If they didn't screw up, if maybe if Warrior and Hogan was a little shorter in the match, they could have squeezed the main event in and before the 11 o'clock cutoff. But yeah, so we got the first one was the bad match between Warrior and Hogan. And the second one was how it was cut off and missed the main event. But the third reason is actually the main event himself. The main event between Goldberg and DDP. The match was incredible. It's regarded as one of the best WCW matches of all time. And Goldberg being involved in that was pretty amazing too, because he before this all happened, like his matches were 2 minutes long, because he's built as this unstoppable hero. He was my hero. He was my favorite wrestler, and probably still is. Him and The Rock, of all time. So yeah, and in this match here, it was actually a really good match. And DDP became really close at beating Goldberg, and beating him without interference too. Like actually taking him the distance, if you want to say, taking him the 15 rounds of the match, because yeah, it didn't last 2 minutes long. Goldberg was in for a fight of his life. Like, and Page, he wasn't like a, he was just he had lots of energy in him, and he was able to go a long time. And he didn't really need, like, he wasn't built or anything like that. He was just a tough guy. And I remember watching this match. It was a school night, And I was 9 years old, and we watched the match because I really wanted to see it. And it was great. And then Goldberg, they're fighting. And it's actually a good wrestling match. Goldberg goes for the spear. Page moves out of the way. Goldberg smashes into the ring post and actually hurting his shoulder. It was actually a real injury. And so, what else happened? And so then you start to wonder, oh my, is Page gonna beat Goldberg here? And so then finally they're wrestling down, and then Goldberg goes for the spear. Page he kind of falls to the ground a little early, and Goldberg's head smashes right into the mat, and gives him a concussion even more. So he has a concussion and a sore shoulder, I should say. He goes to the jackhammer. He can't lift him. And Page is thinking, wow, he's really selling this. But he actually really was hurt. He tries it again, flips him around. Page goes for the diamond cutter. Boom! The crowd goes wild. My dad and I are like, oh, diamond cutter. Goldberg's going to lose. This is when the streak was on, too. It was 154-0. And then, so Page is out. He goes for the cover. He goes for the cover on Goldberg. 1, 2, Goldberg kicks out. But, and then Page is like, oh, I could have had him. But actually, Page, if he actually said I think his interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin, he said he was actually upset with Goldberg because Goldberg didn't sell it that well. He goes 1, 2, kicks out. Page wanted him to go 1, 2, oh, missed it, like just like a tad bit more. I would have sold it a bit more. So Page he was kind of disappointed in that because he's looking to sell the match real well, and that's what you should do. Like, don't be lazy. But I guess Goldberg, he said he was hurt, he had a concussion, and he wasn't thinking that well. So Page gets him up, tries to suplex him. Goldberg reverses it, and bang, jackhammer. 1, 2, 3. Goldberg wins 155-0, and it was a hell of a match. And I think Sting was the person. Sting almost had him. Sting almost beat him before. He had Goldberg locked in the Scorpion Deathlock, I should say, not the sharpshooter. And he almost had him beat, but Hogan came in and I think he punched Sting in the face or something, and Sting fell off, and the referee didn't see it, and that's how Goldberg beat him. But Page, he almost had him. And so that's the kind of match that you kind of remember, and it's what made those two guys famous. Goldberg was getting famous, but that match made him even more famous. Even Diamond Dallas Page too, because I think this was his first world title shot. And after that, after that match, they're thinking, oh wow, this is a big star. So they made him world champion a few months later, and I think he won the championship 3 more times after that. So that match helped both men's careers. And it saved that pay-per-view too, because of the bad Hogan match, which was big hype to it. It was a WrestleMania 6 rematch, and then the fact that the main event was cut off, and the next night they showed it on Nitro for free. And if it wasn't a very good main event, and then that match that whole thing could have just collapsed. And very quickly too. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it I should say about that. It was a good pay-per-view, and Goldberg went on to face the Giant, and after that he went to Starrcade to face Kevin Nash, and I should do that one next. Talk about Nash and Goldberg at Starrcade '98, because I was starting from I was young, around 8 or 9 years old. I was getting into wrestling, and I was getting older. I was starting to understand more things. And around September, or no, I think it was around August or so of that summer, is when I really got into it, and I really knew all the matches. And so Halloween Havoc was pretty good, and so was Starrcade. We should do Starrcade next time. Okay, guys. And if you like my channel, it's Matt Man Collectibles. I have some of these videos on there as well, and we're going to do some autograph collections, and we're going to have lots of fun. Alright guys, if you please subscribe, that'd be awesome if you could. Alright, thanks so much guys, see you around.